So today I wanted to talk about what I have found to be the single most defining trait of successful versus unsuccessful people, and that is the trait of waking up early. And I'll tell you why that is, and then usually overcoming some of the objections that people have to that and how you can overcome them. So first of all, why is it that, first of all, what does getting up in the morning do for you? So I'll give you a good example, whether, depending on where you're at in your life, whether you're single, married, have kids, young kids, old kids, one of the benefits is that if you're waking up early, you're generally waking up before everyone else in the house is awake. And that means you're going to have time for yourself. So people who are looking for finding time, just first of all, that they need to do some work, this is actually a great opportunity for them to actually find that time where they can have uninterrupted work. I personally use the extra hour in the morning. I get up at 5:30 and I read. That's my reading block. Generally what allows me to get through 2 to 3 books a month by having that dedicated chunk of time there. Also, there's a great book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and he actually goes into a lot more details what I'm going to go to about the benefits of waking up early, and just the impact that it's going to have on the rest of your day. Now, that's the main benefit, is that you can actually use that time for personal development work and just doing things that you enjoy without the distraction of basically the rest of the world demanding your attention like it usually does. But what are some of the main objections that people have with waking up early? So main objections on waking up early is that it's hard. I need my sleep. So I had this issue, and basically what I looked at for myself was, I'm going to sleep, let's say at 11:30, getting up at 6:37. All right. And I was like, what am I doing between basically 8 and 11:30? I'm like sitting on the couch watching YouTube videos, not doing anything productive. I mean, if you are doing something productive and it makes sense to do it during that time, it makes sense if you're a night owl and you get more work done at night during the day. That's a different issue. But do a real inner searching and find out, what am I really doing with this time at night when I could be getting to bed earlier? Getting to bed earlier and waking up early, it will lead to you being able to wake up earlier, and it will be a great stepping stone for you to be able to accomplish this goal of waking up early. So that's one step to look at. How can I go to bed earlier, so in order I can wake up earlier as well. The other objection, that's actually the main objection people have. Say I'm busy, right? So that's fine, but the idea being that if you're able to fit that time in for yourself, you're going to have a much higher quality of life overall. And one of the things also that waking up early does, so this is actually interesting, kind of a physiological benefit that what happens in terms of how your brain works. The brain is, there's a muscle, I should say a theoretical muscle in the brain that's based around dopamine triggers, which is essentially your work and reward cycle, right? I do X number of work, I get a certain reward by having dopamine fire in my brain and feeling good about a certain accomplishment. So what that basically turns into is, if I'm able to train myself to work in a certain way, then I'm actually training myself to be able to do more longer, harder work, because I'm able to train myself to have that dopamine reward later. Because generally the way it works with the dopamine release is that the longer you can work and delay that reward, the more intense that reward will actually be. But if you train yourself to have that dopamine hit earlier, by, let's say, I don't want to do as much hard work, as an example, then you'll get a lot of little dopamine hits, but you'll never actually get to the payday of actually having like the huge, massive payoff. So how does that relate to waking up early? Is that when you're waking up early, particularly at the beginning when it's hard, it's actually a good thing that it's hard for you, because that means that if you actually work through it, and it's going to take 1 to 2 weeks probably maximum, of really being disciplined and doing this. And once you do this, you're actually going to retrain your brain to be able to do things that are hard, but that will wind up being enjoyable. You'll wind up actually experiencing this in a way that that would be very difficult. I mean, there's other ways to do it, obviously, but this is a great way to do it, where you actually get a direct, tangible benefit of just having more time and more enjoyable time to yourself. So that's my pitch for today. Wake up earlier. This is going to be success principle number 2 or 3. I forget where we're at. And that is one of the defining things that separates successful people from unsuccessful people. One more point, actually, that I want to mention is that if you actually do study successful people, they all say this. They all say wake up early as one of the defining points of what enables them to be successful. Not only they can use that time to be able to get more work done or to spend the time for themselves, but also the fact that you're actually training yourself and training your brain, the muscles and the skills necessary to have success really in all areas of your life. So if you like videos like this, videos on how to be more successful, how to live the best possible life that you can, please subscribe, little button below, and you will get notified. Also the bell, you hit the bell also, you'll get notified when there's new videos, and we will continue working together on how to make sure that all of us are able to build the best life that we're able to build in all areas of our life, including health, wealth, relationships, etc. All right, bye guys. Subscribe.